Hi, my name is George Hartzman. I live at 2506 Bay Tree Drive. A question on this before I go into my presentation. Is this going to be a swimming pool or a competitive swim center?
It's going to be both. They're going to have swimming. They're going to have, as I understand it, we asked this question. There will be times for people to take swimming classes, time for free swims, and there will be the competitive part of it.
And what would be the total projected cost?
Madam Mayor, I can speak to that.
Go ahead.
I serve on for council liaison to the War Memorial Commission, which is made up of the Coliseum area, and we had a discussion with that today at our board meeting with Matt Brown, who gave us a nice presentation about what the direction they're going through with the architect. The total cost to answer that question is kind of tough right now because it has not gone out to bid, and so to try to analyze the total cost would be very tough right now. The facility will have a warm-up pool that is handicap equipped. It will have a large Olympic style or Olympic length swimming pool. You can tell I'm not necessarily that much of a swimmer. And it will have a diving board section complete from 1 meter to 50 meter diving apparatus. So it's a beautiful facility. It will be a great anchor on High Point Road, Trudy, Diane. And the estimated cost is tough to imagine right now due to the economic climate. But it is, we're going to do, hopefully, and he talked to Bob Morgan was there today, would like to do a presentation. Mr. Hartzman, you're welcome to attend at a briefing session September 22nd to give council an update on the Aquatic Center, which I think we'll all be extremely pleased with. They have done considerable measures to cut costs, including changing the facade, having a sloped roof to cut costs. They took 2 rows of bleachers out, which made the wall move in 5 feet closer to cut costs. They've cut costs on where they have the transmitters, the way the water flows, the way the water is heated, and if we can get solar panels to help heat the water as well, will continue to save money. So it is a very exciting project that the city of Greensboro and quite frankly the region will be extremely excited to have, and it will encompass the entire citizenship. So, I mean, thank you, George, for letting me speak about the Aquatic Center, and I look forward to passing this motion.
So Zach, I know we've talked about this before. I just want you to reiterate, there will be times for the general public to swim in this pool. There will be classes for kids and people who don't know how to swim, as well as the tournaments.
Absolutely, Mayor. They've got the first section, which is the kind of the teaching warm-up pool is handicap accessible as well, which has a moving seat that will drop folks in for not only swimming, learning to swim, rehabilitation. That section of the pool will be 89 degrees, and so it really is built to encompass water athletics for all citizens, learning to swim and getting rehabilitated.
Mary?
Zach, will we have the chicken of the sea swimming lessons for those of us who are afraid of the water?
My mother is afraid to swim, and I want her to be in the first class, and so yes, we'll have those type classes.
Van?
Madam Mayor, I attended the advisory meeting where we all pointed people to that, and as Mr. Matheny said, they're taking a lot of care to make sure that the 3 pools are accessible to the general public, particularly the warm-up pool that will be also the community pool because it will have a high temperature and everything. But the 50-meter pool, which is the Olympic size pool, will also give younger swimmers an opportunity to have that experience as they're learning to do competitive swimming. And then the diving well, which is the 3rd pool, will be where the way they're designing it, that's where a lot of the mechanics will be behind it to help operate the whole pool. So, even though I wasn't exactly happy that the pool wound up at the Coliseum, the efforts to design it and make it, something that's going to be something the city of Greensboro is going to be proud of, and that we'll be able to bring, I think at the meeting they said, NCAA type competitions here, as opposed to us going, I think right now they have to go out of state in order to have those kind of competitions. So that will give us another level of college competition coming in. This is just like we have the ACC and those kinds of things. So, I'm pleased to see the effort that's being put into this.
Okay. When municipalities borrow and spend money, the community enjoys the immediate economic benefits. The problem is, when we spend money in the short term by borrowing for the long term, we are indirectly taxing the future income of our children. It's not like when borrowers die and lenders forgive their debt. Greensboro is not eligible to vote. Our children will have to repay the principal and interest on these huge sums of debt after the economic benefits of spending the money has passed. My kids are packed into classrooms with fewer teachers, and we're borrowing money from them to build a swimming pool. How can our community explain borrowing money from for what someone at the expense of what our children need? Not spending more than we make. You're borrowing money at the expense of our children. I mean, I don't see how you can do this. We're in the middle of probably the worst recession since the Great Depression, and you're going to borrow money from our kids to build a swimming pool when our tax revenues are falling.
Well, George,
we're losing jobs here in Guilford County, and you're going to borrow money to build a swimming pool. Mr. Perkins?
What, no?
No, I'm sorry.
You finish.
I am finished. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, part of the reason for building the swimming pool is because one of the largest industries in this county is the tourism, hotel, restaurant industry. And High Point Road is one of the focuses of this council, revitalization of High Point Road from the mall all the way back to 85 at Gateway Center. And the swimming facility will generate dollars from out of town coming in and being spent along that stretch at those hotels and restaurants, bringing people into the community to help revitalize our economy. Only by showing some growth and restoring the former luster of High Point Road can we retain the tax value on the properties out there and have enough tax revenue to support the services that all of us have come to enjoy. Otherwise, we will be in a situation where we have to cut the level of services, and that's not a place that I think Greensboro needs to go.
Are you suggesting it's going to pay for itself? I mean, what are the ongoing costs of this thing?
I'm suggesting that the citizens of the city of Greensboro voted for a bond and passed the bond, and we are taking advantage of an environment where you can get a swim center built at 30% or so less than what you could have gotten it built for a year ago, and that the combined effect of that construction plus the economic development boost of having people come from out of town for events is enough to justify having another amenity in our community that makes us competitive with our peer cities for economic development and job growth.
Then why wasn't the swim center put? The word swim center was not on the ballot. It just said Parks and Rec.
Sir, this is something that the voters approved, and we have worked very hard to understand what we were doing and to get to this place tonight. I'm confused why we are sitting here defending ourselves so vigorously.
Because you're spending money you don't have on what
There's not going to be arguing from this.
Just a minute. Zach?
I just want to clear up a couple of things because I get this question a lot in regards to school systems. Speaker from the floor mentioned many times that our schools are overpopulated and our schools, et cetera, and our children. The city council, besides collaboration, has not much effect in the lines of the school system. The school system, for your edification, is the Guilford County school system.
Money's coming out of my pocket.
Okay. Mr. Hartzman, I'll let you
Hartz,
speak.
I want you to listen to the response to your concerns.
I think it's in regards to using debt that the citizens elected to go forth with, in this case, a swimming pool, there is something that the city council has, and that's called balance. You have balance with equity, and if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Morgan and Mr. Lusk, does the city of Greensboro, does it carry a pretty good balance sheet? How is our rating?
It's AAA.
AAA credit rating.
Is that the best you can get?
It is.
I would like to move to close the public hearing.
Second.
I'd like to move.
Thank you very much.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.